point of clarification, I've heard follow the letter. I guess you can't validate, I get it. You can't validate it. Maybe if it's honestly frustrated. We get it,
Graduates in I've graduated. Yes. Or held back, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you did it.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the July 11th, 2019 Board of Directors regular meeting here for the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. The meeting is hereby called to order. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Hey, why doesn't somebody sit with?
Well, I know the ship is listing. We have a full.
What's the deal here, folks?
It must have been the cheap seats
Somebody
over
go sit
there on
with
the
him.
right.
It really doesn't look
For
good.
those in the audience,
Anybody.
for those viewing at home,
Anybody sit with him.
It just so
Okay.
happens that everyone is on one side of the room as opposed to the
go.
other.
Now we're
So,
better.
carrying on, Metro Cable announcement. Open session meeting is videotaped for Cablecast on Metro Cable 14. Replay on Sunday, July 14th at 9 a.m. and Monday, July 15th at 2 p.m. on Channel 14. Webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Opening session meetings, the open session meetings are also available for viewing on the district website at www.metrofire.ca.gov. We now come to public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within district jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Madam Clerk, do we have any speaker forms?
There are no speakers this evening.
No speaker forms. Moving on to consent, Chair will entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded for consent. Please call the roll, Madam Clerk.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Gould.
Aye.
Sheets.
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Jones.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to action items. We have Enterprise Resource Planning System Scope Change. And welcome to the podium, CFO Amanda Thomas.
Good evening, Directors. Chief Bridge. Amanda Thomas, Chief Financial Officer for the district. The recommendation before you this evening is for an increase in the scope of services for the district's implementation of Oracle Cloud Human Resources, Payroll, and Time Entry software. The district has been working with a software implementation consultant, Application Software Technology, or AST, on the implementation of the Oracle Cloud Enterprise Resource Planning System since August of 2018. The first two phases of the implementation, which included financials, procurement, and budgeting, have been in use by the district since March of this year. Implementation of the third phase, which covers human resources, payroll, and time entry, is ongoing. Part of the implementation process for each phase included identifying the district's specific business requirements and modeling those requirements within the Oracle software. And during this process for phase 3, necessary extensions to the standard features and functions of the software have been identified in order to meet the district's requirements. This additional configuration and customization, combined with an aggressive initial timeline, have resulted in the need for implementation services beyond what was originally anticipated, and which are detailed in the Statement of Work addendum. As a result, staff recommends that the board authorize the approval of the scope change for AST to provide additional implementation services in the amount of $316,650, which will also extend the implementation timeline by 3 additional months through November of 2019. The cost of the additional implementation services is included in the district's approved fiscal year 2019-20 preliminary budget. And with that, I would be happy to take any questions that you might have.
All right. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
I was trying to figure out where that firm is from. Are they from Seattle or Santa Clara?
They are actually based in Illinois, and the district's project manager is here, so I will ask her to confirm that. I believe their headquarters.
Oh, okay.
Headquarters in Illinois and an office in Santa Clara.
Yeah, because I was wondering about the travel expense, and I thought, were they from Seattle? I know that was small potatoes, but still.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, yes, sir. Mr. Gillen?
When I was reading through it, I saw that there were a handful of deliverables that are up now. Have they delivered on everything?
Correct. So basically, through today's date, we've gone through what they call systems and integration testing. So there's several initial configurations that are called sprints, where you're sort of running through, and then we're in the systems integration testing. That process has completed initial testing. We're doing retesting, and then the next phase will be the final round of testing. So those haven't been completed.
That's kind of where you figured out you wanted these additional things that you're...
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, when we're kind of matching up what do we need with what's standard delivered. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments from fellow board members? If not, Chair will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion we adopt staff's recommendation to authorize the district's project manager to approve the statement of work addendum.
I'll second.
All right, it's been first and seconded. Please call the roll.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Gould.
Aye.
Sheets.
Aye.
Kelly. Wood.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Jones.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to action item number 2, election of representative to the CSDA Board of Directors. We'll look to the board clerk for an intro for that.
Good evening, President Jones and directors. The item I'm here to present this evening is the election of a representative to the California Special District Association in the Sierra Network, and it is seat B. You will probably remember a few months ago, this board unanimously nominated Director Sailors, and during that nomination period, CSDA received 7 nominations in total. The vote this evening is for one of those 7 candidates, and the vote is due by August 9th. Staff is recommending this board select Director Sailors for the for the election to this CSDA board seat B, and I would be happy to take any questions you may have.
Are
What
there
if we
any
wanted
questions?
to question Director Sailors?
Yeah. How can we grill her?
The floor is open for any director, including Director Sailors, to
Grill yourself.
I would move that we approve staff's recommendation and forward our vote for our fellow director.
Second.
All right. Any further comments? All right, moving along. Please call the roll.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Gould.
Aye.
Sheets. Aye. Kelly.
Aye.
Wood.
Aye.
Clark.
Aye.
And Jones.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much. Best of luck, Director Sailors.
Sounded a little tentative down there.
Thank you. You got the full backing of your board. Let's see how things turn out. Okay, now we move to reports. President's report, I have none at this time. Fire Chief's report, Acting Chief Bridge.
Good evening, directors. My report consists of a few announcements, the first one being a retirement effective July 2nd. We're very happy to report a successful career, Captain Michelle Idem, with 14 years of service. And other announcements, we do have a couple of reclassifications. Office technicians Marcy Mateo and Cynthia Hamilton will be reclassified to EMS system technicians. Also, office technician Amy Peterson is being reclassified as an accounting technician. Next to the promotion side of the house, effective on July 3rd, proud to announce promotion to Assistant Chief Adam Mitchell, who will be overseeing the C shift. Also, effective July 21st, we are happy to promote Battalion Chief John Rudnicki. So his assignment will be on Battalion 9 on the B shift. So, and a couple recruitment opportunities. Battalion Chief John Rudnicki was serving in our UASI Homeland Security Training area, which has been funded by a Homeland Security grant program. So as he's transitioning into the field, that position will become available as well. So we're recruiting for that. But that's based upon availability of funding by the Fed, so it's kind of tentative from year to year. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, we do have a couple of training captain positions coming available. We usually require a 2-year commitment, and a couple of our members have fulfilled that, and they're anticipated retirement at the end of the year. So we're just gaining a list for that and seeing who's interested in offering up their 2-year commitment to the training division. So that's where we're at in the recruitment area, and that's all I have for my report tonight, unless you have any questions.
Are there any questions for Chief Bridge? All right, thank you very much. Now we have operations report from Assistant Chief Wagaman. Welcome to the podium.
Thank you, and good evening, President Jones, directors. Chief Bridge. Tyler Wagaman, Assistant Chief Operations. I'm covering for Chief Bridge tonight. I know they're big shoes to fill. I will give it a shot. Since our last board meeting, the district has been pretty busy. 3,762 calls. 2,728 of those calls were medical in nature at a transport rate of 72%. The district ran a total of 16 structure fires during that time frame as well. As I made mention during the last board meeting, we did anticipate increased call volume primarily due to the proximity to the 4th of July. And once again this year, we were kind of right on par. That was very accurate. We got busy. Because of this, we did add some additional resources. We upstaffed our Boat 65 due to the increased population on the waterways on the American River. For those folks that were enjoying some festivities out on the river that day, our boat was out there to make sure that they stayed safe. We added some bike medics at Hagen Park for the events on both the 3rd and the 4th of July. We had additional fire inspectors as well as supervisors who worked throughout the evening hours on the 3rd and the 4th, supporting 6 different public fireworks displays throughout our district. As well as they inspected over 170 fireworks booths prior to the selling of fireworks this year. Additionally, our reserve firefighters were out in force. They supported 6 different resources from 2 different reserve stations, stations 112 and 116. They, too, again, were very busy. I think they ran 10 calls just by themselves. So, again, very, very busy across the district. My hat goes off to them for leaving their friends and family on the 4th of July to really to support and serve the citizens of this community. Additionally, folks over at dispatch, they increased some staffing over there as well in anticipation for that increased call volume, so we appreciate that. When we focus on the 4th of July, specifically between the hours of 8 o'clock in the morning on the 4th and ending on the 8 o'clock in the morning on the 5th, the district had a total of 350 incidents within our jurisdiction. Of those, we had 25 vegetation fires. We had 6 residential structure fires. We had 2 commercial structure fires. And we had 21 other type of classifications that would include dumpster fires, trash cans fires, bush fires, rubbish fires, and tree fires. In total, this district ran 54 fires during that 24-hour time frame. Here's some more staggering numbers for you. We had 13 units that ran more than 16 calls in 24 hours. Top in the list was Engine 105 at 22 calls. When you add a few meals, some bathroom breaks, occasional stretch, and wipe the sweat off your brow, there's not much time left besides running calls. Engine 53 and Engine 23 ran 21 calls, and Engine 24 ran 19. Our fire investigations unit, they picked up an additional 34 investigations between July 1st and July 6th, and we're still adding. Of the cases that are currently complete, we have 17 fires that were caused by illegal fireworks, 5 fires that were caused by Safe and Sane, 1 reckless, 1 incendiary, and 9 are currently undetermined. Again, this is only a compilation of the investigations that have occurred within the first few days of July, so we fully anticipate this number increasing as we progress through the month of July. So with that being said, your fire district was extremely busy, and I want to thank the men and women of Metro Fire, the firefighters specifically, the prevention staff, the fire investigators, the support staff, our reserve firefighters, and our dispatchers over at the Comm Center for working tirelessly over the 4th of July to keep everybody in our communities safe. With that being said, that concludes my report unless you have any questions for me.
Thank you very much, Chief. Are there any questions or comments for Chief Wagaman? All right, sir, thank you. Thank you very much. Very, very important to get that information out to members of the public, to let them know the level of activity around the 4th of July. We cannot underestimate or undercount those calls. Thank you. Okay, next up, we have Firefighters Local 522 report. Welcome to the podium, Mr. Jameson.
Good evening, President Jones, directors, Chief Bridge, and staff. Great to be here. I heard those are some staggering numbers, but first I'd like to just also congratulate Battalion Chief John Rudnicki. He will be promoted here, excuse me, shortly, and then Assistant Chief Adam Mitchell, both a couple of great Metro members. But, I think I've said this many times, and it's an absolute privilege and honor to be here to address you and to be able to represent my membership. We're full of, you heard some administrative services people getting reclassified that do great work for us. We have the best inspectors, mechanics, investigators, firefighters, all the way up and down. It's an absolute, like I said, it's a total privilege to be here and address you. I also get to meet with you one-on-one and have discussions. And I'll tell you that for me to be able to sit down with you and to have the dialogue and the business approach that we have, it's totally appreciated. Also, I have a couple of our elected members in the audience, people who have come to address you, Director Joel Roberts and Shift Rep Brett Randall. And I hope that, and I know you understand this, it's been very important to 522 to understand that we have skin in the game and that we've never missed a meeting. And I know tonight, you guys have a little bit of a long session again, and you've been through this before. I'm going to reiterate that we're representing what the membership has brought back to us. We know that our first tentative agreement did not go through. We know that you've been willing to listen to us and work with us, and we'll look at this in a way that I think hopefully the facts will bear out and we'll get to a solution that we can all agree with. But again, I just want to thank you for that approach. It hasn't been emotional with you. We've been able to discuss things and sit down, and it's been the same way with the district. So the dialogue has been good. I want to maintain that. It's been very professional, and I know that you'll take what we've brought to you and at least consider it that way. So I appreciate that. Appreciate the approach from the district as well. So with that, that's all I've got to say, unless you have something for me.
Are there any questions for Trevor Jameson? Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate the words. All right. Next up, we have committee and delegate reports. Executive Committee, nothing to report out. Communications Center, JPA, AC Wagaman. Again, thank you.
Good evening again, directors. The JPA board last met on July 9th here at the Metro Fire headquarters. During our meeting, we did approve unanimously 3 different action items. The first was several amendments to our current contract with Northrop Grumman specific to the scope of work, a fit gap, and acceptability criteria related to the scope of work revisions, and some milestone payments. So we modified those to be more consistent with the revenue stream at the Comm Center. We also approved a third-party escrow agreement between the center and Northrop Grumman and Iron Mountain, who will be holding the key set to our new CAD system. And lastly, which is big news for us, is the ratification of a settlement agreement between Tyler New World and the center for $1.95 million. We will be meeting again on July 23rd here at the Metro Fire headquarters at 9 o'clock in the morning. That concludes my report, unless you have any questions for me.
Any questions?
For those that may not have been here, Tyler New World was a vendor that you guys had a tremendous issue with. And so they are compensating the comm center to the tune of $1.9 million?
That's correct.
Good.
That's a win.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, next we have California Fire and Rescue Training, JPA, Deputy Chief Shannon.
Good evening. There is no report. We have not met for some time. We will meet again September 19th at 4 o'clock across the hall.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Finance and Audit Committee, Director Kelly.
I was not in attendance at the last Finance and Audit Committee. I'm not sure who may have remembered what went on, but we will have another meeting on the 25th of July.
Okay, thank you. Policy Committee, Director Gould.
No report.
Okay. We're going to move on to board members and questions and comments now before we retire to closed session. So this time we'll start all the way to my right. And board member questions and comments, Director Saylors.
I would just like to thank everyone out there in the district for their hard work on this holiday, 4th of July. I know it was very busy with all of the illegal fireworks, and even with the Safe and Sane, it kept everyone very busy. I want to thank everyone out there for doing the best job that they did in a time of high stress and craziness and chaos. Thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Saylors. Director Gould?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just really quickly, thank you for all the hard work you all do, regardless of what position you play in this agency. It's pretty awesome to just be associated with it. And it rang true the other day when I got to take my 5 grandchildren to Station 26 and let them crawl all over the truck and engine. The staff there were exceptional and very kind to these young kids that are very excited to go see that. So thank you very much, and I wish you all a continued safe summer. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Director Gould. Director Wood?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just have 2 things to Captain Item. Congratulations. I've enjoyed working with you over the years here, so best to you. And also, I had the unfortunate experience of needing service at my house on the 29th of June. We had Medic 65 and Engine 68 show up, and they were consummate professionals, and I appreciate all the service they provided. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Director Clark?
I have no comment today, tonight, Madam Chair.
Director Kelly?
I just wanted to thank the guys from 106. I visited them on the 4th of July, and they were very, very welcoming. And to Dr. Rossiter for inviting us to his house for dessert and getting to see him and have some good conversation with the good doctor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Director Sheets?
No comment.
No comment?
No comment.
Okay. I would just wrap it up by saying congratulations to all the soon-to-be and new retirees, as well as all the promotions that Chief Bridge mentioned. With that, we will recuse ourselves. Well, we will go to closed session. Let's recuse ourselves.
We can't do that.
Wrong word. Retire to closed session. And no telling how long it's going to be, short or long, so we don't want to see any of your lovely faces here. Please feel free to go home and enjoy your evening. Thank you all very much.